Neil from Essex here to take you for a walk around our Mount Joy store here a little bit today. I've got a couple of things to show you. There's some unique equipment headed out of here today that's always fun to take a look at, but a pricing conversation that I want to have with you too. There's some stuff here at the end of the season we typically clear out, so there's some deals to be had, but also some places I want to give you a little caution of where we might see some price increases in the future.
Essex, a helping hand with your land.
So first, you guys probably want the deals, right? Because that's always the fun part. I'm going to start this out by saying it's one of my goals is that Essex is a place that you can always get a good deal. I hate watching pricing boom back and forth and manufacturer programs that are great one day and not great the next. This is not the kind of business that we like to do that way, but there are seasonality and opportunities in this business where sometimes we can give you a little bit of a deal. And you may have seen me around on social media at this point promoting some clearance zero-turn mowers. We always look back at that prior year inventory and try to clean things out before we go into wintertime, because a lot of this equipment sits outside. So we want to get as much of it out of here as possible. So you're going to see some discounts on about 50 zero-turn mowers at this point. So if you're in the market for a piece of mowing equipment, give us a call and let us know. Another place that we have a chunk of equipment to offer, new attachments at an actual discount, would be several pieces from Woods. Some time ago, we bought out some inventory from a dealer that was going out of business and brought that into here at a more aggressive price. And you're going to notice here in the wintertime, we're taking some of that equipment and you're seeing discounts as much as 50% off of list price on certain attachments. So if you're shopping for an attachment for your tractor, now is also a great time to give us a call. Another place that you'll see us start marking some things down here going into wintertime is in used equipment. And we don't do a great job of showing here's what we were asking for this piece and here's what it is now, right? But we are continually looking at our inventory and right pricing things to meet where the market is at. Things like tractors and stuff haven't changed a whole lot. Their resale values have held strong, and used equipment really has been a real bright spot for us here in the last year. A lot of it's coming in, the turns of it have been great. We found a lot of good opportunities for you guys. But one place that we've absolutely gotten burned and we're now selling equipment at a loss is over in Powersports. Things like this Polaris back here and this Can-Am Maverick that are around, they've been in our inventory here for a little while, for about a year or so. And the course of that year, we've watched the market for Powersports equipment crater. And so we're now selling machines like this Polaris back here at about a half of what a brand new one costs for a machine that's only 2 years old, and at a loss to us now at this point because that market has changed so quickly. So we are always going through this cycle of repricing and right pricing things, but now is a great time to check our inventory because we've done a lot of that here recently for the end of the year. Behind me here, you'll see the very first of the yellow New Holland round balers that have come here into the store. You may have noticed that New Holland's color scheme is changing a little bit. Here in the US, we've typically had New Holland as yellow and red, but globally, they've used a yellow and black paint scheme here for a while. I had mixed feelings about these things when they first started showing up because this is what we've been used to for so long. But as I've seen some of the black accent colors on some of this equipment, it's been more attractive looking than what I initially thought it was going to be. You've seen me cover offset products before, the compact telehandlers, dumpers, and off-road forklifts. This brand was recently scooped up by JLG. They had OEM some equipment together in the past, but they're now fully owned by JLG. And we had an opportunity here as this transaction was taking place to buy some of the existing field inventory at some heavily discounted prices. So if you could use a machine, particularly these compact telehandlers, we've got some really killer pricing on these machines for the limited units that we have left in stock. I'm standing out here in our ag lot where you tend to find the big iron. If I've got one caution for you here when it's come to some of the pricing that I mentioned here at the lead into this video, it's where the implications for some of these machines may be going into this upcoming year. Tariffs now have been in place now for a couple of months, but based upon the pricing that I've seen coming from our various vendors here over the last couple of months, neither you or I have fully borne the costs of what those tariffs are going to put into this equipment eventually. We're starting to see some of the supply of this machinery in the US really start to dip, because when it comes to these super expensive machines, the companies have been pretty conservative on how much they want to park here in the country at this point, not knowing how these tariffs might shift or change as they're negotiated. So we're likely to see supply of this stuff start to get tighter, requiring more pre-ordering of equipment and being able to pick from less stuff out here on the lot. We've been carrying Wolf Ridge now for a little bit over a year. This was our first step into serious firewood equipment, and I said before, when we first looked at this line, I said, you know, who on earth is going to spend $8,000–9,000 plus for a log splitter, right? But I recently have had a bunch of time to run one at my own home. We're gonna do a video on it here before too long, and I now understand the productivity difference between a box store log splitter and a real purpose-built commercial one is night and day. And I saw very, very quickly how the profitability difference absolutely works out for every person who chooses to buy one of these things, and they make a ton of sense. This product line has always had a long lead time. As much as these guys pump equipment out, they never have been able to catch up. And we have been placing large orders here throughout the year to try to build some inventory, knowing that going into fall and winter, that things would start to get tight. And that's starting to happen. So there's about half the number of splitters sitting out here now that would have been here about a month ago. And we're watching things quickly check off the list. So we do have a couple around, things like 17 VSs with conveyors, 2 24-foot conveyors back in here. Who thought we'd be selling firewood conveyors, right? New stuff to all of us, but super, super fun. Definitely worth geeking out a little bit with if you have a chance here to walk around the store. This is a really innovative and new solution for spreading salt that I have never seen before. This relies upon these large plastic tubs. Now you take these tubs, you fill them up with the salt that you want to spread, and you can leave them at your various job sites. And when you go out to that job site to spread the salt, you take your skid steer or track loader with your attachment on the front that has a carrying frame for these tubs. And on that carrying frame is the salt spreading equipment. So it actually inserts an agitator up into the tub, and then your spinner sits down below it. So all of your moving mechanical and hydraulic parts stay on the frame with your machine, while these plastic tubs can store all of your salt. So really cool solution for professional snow removal contractors. When you walk around here, it's no secret that winter is coming. There's push boxes being set up in the shop, there's cabs going on the machines, there's RTVs going out with salt spreaders in the back, but the one that caught my eye is the baby salt spreader here on the back of the BX. A really tiny, small one for running down sidewalks and stuff that's going out to a local municipality here. So just fun, unique sizes and configurations of stuff that we don't always see, and interesting to follow the seasonality of everything. Aren't these cool? When you look at a tractor, you typically are presented options like R4, R1, R3 turf tires, or R14s, but these are available for about half the tractors or so, not all of them. These are a super wide turf that we generally only will sell to places like sod farms and stuff where they're concerned about having the lightest footprint on the ground possible, but man, we gotta find more uses for them because they're too cool. So those are some of the things that caught my eye while I was out walking around. Some deals to be had, some concerns about where things might be headed, but bottom line, it's always a good time to reach out and have a conversation with a salesperson here. We are here to guide you through these purchase processes. So shopping for a piece of equipment, or if you have parts and service needs for a machine you've already got, give us a call here at Messick's. We're available at 800-222-3373 or online at Messick's.com.